Once you reach the age of 65, the risk of falling becomes one of the most serious threats to your health and longevity. A fall that results in a broken hip or femur carries a 15 to 30% chance of death within just 1 year. This is not just a statistic. It's a life-changing reality for millions of older adults worldwide. And yet, far too many people ignore it until it's too late. This isn't just a warning. It's a wake-up call. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or even 80s, you must understand that weak legs, reduced muscle mass, and poor balance are not simply natural signs of aging. They are red flags, early indicators of functional decline that lead to a greater risk of falls, loss of independence, hospitalization, and even premature death. But here's the truth that many people overlook. It is never too late to rebuild strength, improve balance, and reclaim your independence. Whether you've been physically active your entire life or you're only now beginning to prioritize fitness, the body has a remarkable capacity to adapt. You can absolutely improve your strength, stability, and resilience, even in your later years. What matters is not how hard you train, but how consistently you move. Strength training is a cornerstone of healthy aging. Icons like Arnold Schwarzenegger prove this every single day. Despite undergoing multiple heart surgeries, shoulder repairs, and the wear and tear of decades of intense training, he still works out every day, but with a smarter, more sustainable approach. He now focuses on machine-based exercises, lighter weights, higher repetitions, and full-body movements to maintain muscle mass, cardiovascular health, and joint safety. He's not lifting heavy like he did in his 30s. Instead, he emphasizes movement quality and overall volume, aiming for 25 to 30 total sets in about 45 minutes per session. His primary goal is no longer aesthetics or competition. It's longevity, mobility, and vitality. That should be your goal too. When it comes to aging well, strength is relative. You don't need to lift like a bodybuilder to make progress. You just need to challenge your muscles relative to your current ability. Whether you're using dumbbells, resistance bands, or just your body weight, what counts is consistency and intention. Balance training is another critical piece of the puzzle. As we age, our ability to stay upright becomes compromised. This isn't just an inconvenience, it's a danger. A single fall can change your life forever. Fortunately, balance is something that can be trained. Simple exercises like single leg stands, where you lift one foot off the ground while keeping your posture tall, can dramatically improve your stability. As you progress, you can move on to more advanced tools like balance boards or surfaces that challenge your foot and ankle muscles to react and adapt in real time. Dr. Peter Attia emphasizes the importance of lower leg variability, training the small, often overlooked muscles in your feet and ankles that are responsible for making constant micro-adjustments as you walk. When these muscles are strong and responsive, you're far less likely to trip or lose your balance. Another surprisingly powerful predictor of longevity is grip strength. Research has shown that grip strength correlates more strongly with life expectancy than even blood pressure. Low grip strength is linked to frailty, greater fall risk, and earlier mortality. Fortunately, training your grip is simple and accessible. Dead hangs from a bar, farmer's carries with dumbbells or grocery bags, or using hand grippers and stress balls can all build endurance and resilience in your hands and forearms. Strong hands reflect a strong nervous system and a strong body. They help you stay self-sufficient, carry groceries, open jars, and even catch yourself during a stumble. Now, here's something most seniors never hear about: jump training. No, this doesn't mean leaping into the air or doing explosive movements that risk injury. Jump training refers to low-impact, quick-burst movements that activate your fast-twitch muscle fibers, the very same fibers responsible for helping you catch yourself when you trip or stumble. Gentle jump squats, light bouncing in place, or stepping off a curb and rebounding lightly can wake up these fast fibers, improve your reaction time, and enhance your ability to recover quickly from sudden missteps. These exercises don't require a gym or any special equipment. They only require consistency and patience. Just a few minutes 2 or 3 times per week can yield real benefits in balance, speed, and confidence. Power, unlike strength, is about how quickly you can apply force. And that's exactly what saves you when your foot catches the edge of a rug or you lose your balance stepping off a curb. Building power, even in small doses, trains your nervous system to respond faster, giving you that split-second reaction that can prevent a fall and possibly save your life. But beyond these exercises, it's the daily habits that make the biggest difference. Arnold Schwarzenegger's lifestyle offers a powerful blueprint. He eats just 2 meals a day, breakfast and dinner, to keep his digestive system light and efficient. He avoids lunch because, as he puts it, the system slows down with age and doesn't burn food as efficiently. This approach helps keep his energy up and his body lean. Perhaps more impressively, he rides his bike every single day, to the gym, to meetings, to events. Cycling is low impact and strengthens the legs, heart, and mind. It targets the same muscle groups, quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, and calves, that are essential for standing, climbing stairs, and maintaining balance. Unlike running, it's easier on the joints, making it perfect for aging knees and hips. Arnold doesn't treat cycling as a workout. He treats it as a lifestyle. He integrates it into his routine the way others might use a car or bus. Movement becomes part of life. That is the mindset we should all adopt. Every step, every pedal, every lift is a small investment in your future independence. Arnold also speaks passionately about training for life, not for appearance. He will be working out until the day he dies, not because he wants to look a certain way, but because it's how he stays alive, mentally sharp, emotionally strong, and physically capable. That's a mindset that should inspire us all. When you stop moving, you start declining. And it doesn't take a dramatic gym transformation to change your trajectory. It takes simple habits practiced consistently. Eat mindfully, move often, train wisely, sleep deeply, laugh regularly, connect with others. These are the true pillars of healthy aging. Leg strength, in particular, is not just about walking or climbing stairs. It's about preserving the freedom to live life on your own terms, to travel, to play with grandchildren, to stay out of nursing homes, to get up from the floor without assistance, and to face each day with confidence instead of fear. So whether you're 60, 70, or even 80 years old, remember this: it's never too late to start. Start with one exercise, one habit, one small choice that puts you back in control of your health. Follow these principles. Take a page from Arnold's book and make movement your medicine. Don't train to impress others. Train to protect your future. You are not training for the mirror. You're training for the moments in life that matter. Climbing stairs, walking to the park, getting out of a chair, or catching yourself before you fall. Train for independence. Train for vitality. Train for life. The journey toward lasting health in later life is not solely physical. It is deeply mental, emotional, and even spiritual. While strength, balance, and mobility are the foundation, the mindset behind those actions is what sustains them long term. Many people in their later years fall into a trap of learned helplessness, believing that decline is inevitable, that energy will fade, and that dreams must shrink to match their age. But this is a false narrative. Longevity is not about extending life at all costs. It's about expanding the quality of each day you do have. It's about having the energy to pursue your passions, to play with your grandchildren, to learn new skills, and to wake up with purpose. People like Arnold Schwarzenegger don't just train their bodies. They train their minds every day by setting goals, staying curious, and refusing to let age define their identity. Mental fitness is as important as physical strength. Reading, writing, social interaction, and creative expression are powerful forms of cognitive training that keep the brain sharp and emotionally engaged. Emotional resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity, loss, or physical setbacks, is also essential. Studies show that those who have a sense of purpose and connection to others live longer, healthier lives, even if they don't have perfect health markers. In fact, isolation and loneliness are now recognized as health risks comparable to smoking or obesity in older adults. That's why movement should not only happen in a gym or a home. It should happen in community. Join a walking group, dance class, yoga circle, or local volunteer team. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and challenge you to grow. And never stop growing. At any age, you can learn to play a musical instrument, speak a new language, paint, write stories, or take courses online. Growth keeps the spirit alive. Nutrition is another cornerstone often overlooked. While your metabolism may slow with age, your body's demand for high-quality nutrients increases. You need more protein to support muscle repair and growth, more fiber to aid digestion, and more antioxidants to combat inflammation and oxidative stress. Focus on whole, minimally processed foods. Lean proteins like eggs, beans, chicken, and fish, healthy fats from olive oil, nuts and avocado, and colorful vegetables and fruits in every meal. Stay hydrated, but also be mindful of alcohol and sugar intake, which can impair recovery, sleep, and brain function. Intermittent fasting, like Arnold's 2-meal-a-day approach, may work well for some, but it's not about rigid rules. It's about creating a way of eating that energizes you, supports your body, and fits your lifestyle. Sleep, often the most underrated pillar, is your body's master repair mechanism. Deep sleep helps restore muscles, balance hormones, and consolidate memory. Without it, even the best exercise and diet plan will fall short. Protect your sleep by creating a consistent bedtime routine, avoiding screens at night, and keeping your room cool, quiet, and dark. If you wake often or feel unrest, speak to a doctor about underlying issues like sleep apnea or chronic stress. Speaking of stress, your ability to manage it plays a direct role in aging well. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, damages cardiovascular health, weakens immunity, and accelerates cellular aging. But stress is not always external. It's often the result of how we interpret and respond to life's challenges. Practices like mindfulness meditation, journaling, time in nature, and deep breathing are powerful tools to calm a nervous system and restore balance. Even something as simple as gratitude, taking a few moments each day to reflect on what you're thankful for, can reshape the brain toward optimism and resilience. Let us not forget play, the joy of spontaneous movement and fun. Adults often forget that play is not just for children. Dancing in your kitchen, tossing a ball with your dog, playing catch with your grandchildren, or laughing with friends around a card game. All of this nourishes the soul and enhances longevity. True health is not just the absence of disease. It is the presence of joy, engagement, purpose, and freedom. Freedom to move, to choose, to give, to love, and to live on your own terms. That is what we are truly training for. So when you pick up a dumbbell, step onto a balance board, ride a bicycle, or go for a walk, don't see it as exercise. See it as a declaration. I choose life. I choose strength. I choose to fight for every moment I've been given. Because you're not done. You're not too old. And you're not alone. With every step forward, you're showing the world and yourself that your best years are not behind you. They are still being written one powerful, purposeful, and vibrant day at a time. And as we continue this journey of reclaiming strength, vitality, and meaning in the later chapters of life, we must begin to shift the narrative not just for ourselves, but for the generations watching us, because aging with power is not only a personal triumph, it is a social message, a living example that teaches our children and grandchildren what is possible when we choose not to surrender to decline, but instead embrace the opportunity to grow wiser, bolder, and more courageous with time. Because the elderly are not a burden to society, they are its backbone, its library, its conscience, and its soul. And every time you move your body, strengthen your mind, speak your truth, or share your story, you're building a legacy that others will draw strength from. And this legacy is not written in monuments or fame, but in everyday acts of resilience, compassion, and effort that ripple outward through your family, your neighborhood, and your community. And that's why staying healthy is no longer just about your own independence. It's about your capacity to lead, to mentor, to care, and to inspire, because in a world that too often idolizes youth and forgets the wisdom of age, you have the power to become a lighthouse for others, showing them that growing older can mean growing deeper, stronger, more centered, and more alive. And this influence can take many forms, whether it's teaching your grandchildren how to garden, volunteering at a local school, joining a wellness group, and lifting others up with your presence, or even simply being the one who greets strangers with warmth, who walks with dignity, who refuses to let time erase their curiosity and fire. You become a force for good, and that goodness has a compounding effect because vitality is contagious, optimism is magnetic. And human beings of all ages need role models who live fully at every stage of life, and this is especially true in an era where screens dominate attention and quick fixes are worshipped, because what the world needs now more than ever is not perfection, but authenticity, perseverance, and integrity, and you embody those qualities each time you show up for yourself and for others. And so, this mission of health and aging becomes a calling, a way of life, a reason to get up in the morning with clarity and direction. And it invites us to continuously learn from science, from nature, from mentors, and even from our own setbacks, which become lessons, not defeats, because longevity is not about dodging death. It's about showing up for life with everything you've got day after day. And part of showing up means embracing the future with open hands, whether that's through learning how to use new technology to stay connected, participating in online communities, or even starting your own wellness journey blog or podcast to share your insights, because you never know who you might inspire or who might be waiting to hear the exact story only you can tell. And perhaps one of the most powerful truths is this: healing and strengthening do not happen in isolation. They're amplified in connection, in laughter, in shared meals, in movement together. So never underestimate the power of a community walk, a group workout, a book club, or morning coffee shared with intention. Because healing is not just physical. It is relational, emotional, and spiritual. And this holistic view of aging transforms it from a fearful process into a sacred evolution, a chance to become more fully yourself. And when you truly grasp this, you no longer ask, how can I slow aging? But instead, how can I grow into this next phase with purpose and grace? And suddenly your days gain a richness not from luxury or speed, but from presence, meaning, and connection to what really matters. And so as you keep training your body, feeding your mind, and nurturing your heart, remember that you are not just aging. You are ascending, becoming a fuller, freer version of yourself with each breath. And the fire that once burned in your youth still lives within you, now shaped by time, made wiser by experience, and strengthened by the choice to keep showing up, to keep moving forward, to keep loving and leading and becoming, not despite your age, but because of it. And as we move forward into this evolving vision of aging with strength, dignity, and purpose, it becomes clear that our later years are not a slow descent, but a second act, a renaissance of the body, mind, and soul, where the lessons of the past meet the possibilities of the future, and where every choice we make, every healthy meal, every step we take, every act of kindness, every moment of stillness becomes a stitch in the tapestry of a life lived fully and consciously, and now more than ever. We must reframe how we think about health, not just as the absence of illness, but as the presence of vitality, balance, and inner alignment, because true wellness means waking up each day with a reason to move, a reason to connect, a reason to grow. And this holistic approach includes not only physical training, but also mental clarity through practices like mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing, and even journaling to process emotions and experiences, because emotional resilience is as important as muscle strength in the aging journey. And it's never too late to process old griefs, to release resentment, to forgive, to seek joy, to build new relationships or repair broken ones. Because these emotional weights affect your posture, your sleep, your appetite, your immune system, and your overall vitality. And when you lighten that emotional load, you make space for creativity, curiosity, and peace. And from this place of inner calm, you begin to see aging not as loss, but as revelation, not as fading, but as focusing. And that shift in perception transforms everything, from how you walk through your day to how you treat your body, from how you plan your meals to how you engage with the world around you. And speaking of nourishment, we must acknowledge the critical role of diet in longevity, because what you eat becomes what you are: your cells, your thoughts, your energy levels. And it's essential to prioritize whole foods, colorful fruits and vegetables, healthy fats, lean proteins, and hydration while minimizing processed foods, excessive sugars, and empty calories, not out of fear, but out of love for the body that carries you through this life. And even more important is how you eat: slowly, gratefully, in community whenever possible, because digestion begins with presence, and presence deepens every experience. And as your body becomes more attuned to real nourishment, your senses sharpen, your skin glows, your energy stabilizes, and you begin to crave the things that sustain you, not sabotage you. And this is the beauty of aging intentionally. It becomes easier to let go of what no longer serves you and to embrace habits and people that elevate your quality of life. And among these habits is rest, because quality sleep is the foundation upon which all other health pillars stand. And in later life, sleep can become disrupted by stress, medication, or hormone changes, which is why creating a consistent nighttime routine, limiting screens, and using relaxation techniques becomes a non-negotiable investment in your vitality. And when you wake up rested, your body heals faster, your mind stays sharper, your mood improves, and your risk of chronic disease drops dramatically. And as all these practices come together, movement, mindset, nutrition, recovery, you begin to feel the synergy of a life lived in harmony. A life where health is no longer a goal, but a way of being. And from this place of strength and clarity, many elders find themselves asking deeper questions. What legacy will I leave? How can I serve? What wisdom can I pass on? Because true fulfillment comes not only from taking care of oneself, but also from contributing to something greater. And whether it's mentoring a young person, writing a memoir, planting a community garden, starting a small project, or simply being the wise and loving presence in your circle, your contribution matters, and every day is an invitation to live not just longer, but deeper. And so as you continue to walk this path, let every stretch, every breath, every conversation, and every decision be a celebration of the miracle of life and a powerful reminder that aging is not the end. It is the unfolding of everything you've ever been, now blooming with intention, love, and limitless potential. And as this lifelong journey of empowered aging continues to unfold, we begin to understand that the core of healthy longevity lies not just in personal transformation, but in building environments, both physical and social, that support and reflect our evolving needs and aspirations. Because while individual choices matter deeply, the spaces we inhabit, the people we surround ourselves with, and the systems we engage in all play crucial roles in determining how successfully we age. And this is where the idea of community becomes not only relevant, but essential, for human beings are inherently social creatures, and isolation, especially in old age, can be just as damaging as any physical ailment, leading to depression, cognitive decline, and even increased mortality. Whereas regular social engagement, shared purpose, and intergenerational connection provide a sense of belonging that no supplement or exercise alone can offer. And this is why creating age-friendly communities that encourage movement, creativity, accessibility, and interaction is vital for public health. Whether it's walkable neighborhoods, senior fitness programs, group classes, libraries, parks, or volunteer initiatives that bring people together around a shared cause. Because the more integrated and valued older adults feel, the more likely they are to thrive. And within these communities, we must also encourage a culture of lifelong learning, because the brain, like the body, responds to challenge and novelty, and continued intellectual engagement through reading, puzzles, classes, languages, music, or new skills can slow cognitive aging and even promote the growth of new neural connections, a concept known as neuroplasticity, proving that it's never too late to become a student again, to feed your curiosity, and to rewire your thinking not just for mental sharpness, but also for emotional resilience. And speaking of emotions, part of aging well means developing what some researchers call emotional wisdom, the capacity to see life from a broader, more compassionate perspective, to recognize what truly matters, to let go of the trivial, and to face difficulties with grace and patience. And this often comes from facing mortality not with fear, but with clarity, from accepting life's impermanence as a reason to live more fully, love more deeply, and forgive more freely. And as elders develop this wisdom, they become beacons of insight and perspective in their families and communities, offering guidance not through control, but through calm presence, through storytelling, listening, and example. And this creates a feedback loop where the act of giving purposefully strengthens the giver and uplifts the receiver, a cycle that reinforces connection, health, and vitality. On both sides, and even spiritually, this stage of life can become profoundly rich as many begin to explore questions of meaning, legacy, and inner peace, whether through traditional religion, personal reflection, meditation, nature, or creative expression, finding ways to feel connected to something larger than oneself, be it God, the universe, the earth, or the flow of life itself, which has been shown to reduce stress, enhance resilience, and improve overall well-being. And in this way, aging becomes not just about survival, but about awakening, about deepening into your most authentic self, free from earlier roles, burdens, and pressures, embracing your essence with confidence and clarity. And this self-knowledge empowers better decisions in every area, from relationships to healthcare to lifestyle, especially when it comes to proactively managing chronic conditions that tend to surface in older age, such as arthritis, hypertension, diabetes, or osteoporosis, where early detection, consistent monitoring, and integrative care, blending medical science with lifestyle change, movement therapy, and even holistic practices like acupuncture or Tai Chi, can significantly improve quality of life. And so the narrative shifts from aging as decline to aging as refinement, as a continual evolution in which strength and softness coexist, where rest and action dance together, and where the body, mind, and spirit learn to move in deeper synchrony. And so as you rise each morning, know that you are not simply aging, you are becoming more aware, more intentional, more capable of savoring the moment, lifting others, and shaping a life that is not only long, but meaningful in every step. And this is the new story of aging we must write together. One that honors the past, embraces the present, and leans forward into the future with courage, purpose, and joy. And as we continue to redefine what it means to age, embracing the wisdom, vitality, and potential of our later years, we must also confront the societal narratives and systemic gaps that often hinder the full flourishing of older adults. Because despite all the advancements in health knowledge and longevity science, ageism remains a subtle but powerful barrier, one that marginalizes the elderly, underestimates their contributions, and reinforces a false dichotomy between youth and worth, when, in fact, aging is not the opposite of youth, but the accumulation of it, layered with depth, perspective, and the invaluable currency of experience. And so it becomes crucial that we shift the cultural lens through which aging is viewed, promoting media, policies, and educational campaigns that celebrate elderhood not as a phase of loss, but as a time of profound power and agency. Because when older adults are seen, heard, and respected, they are far more likely to remain active, involved, and mentally resilient, which has ripple effects across entire communities. And to support this shift, our healthcare systems must also evolve from reactive, disease-focused models to proactive, person-centered care that considers not just symptoms, but the whole human being, physical, emotional, social, and spiritual. With coordinated efforts across disciplines including primary care, gerontology, nutrition, physiotherapy, mental health, and community support services working in harmony to create integrated wellness plans that empower older adults to live fully at every level. And within that framework, technology has a growing role to play, offering tools that were once unimaginable. From wearable health monitors that track vitals in real time, to telemedicine platforms that bring doctors into the home, to smart home systems that detect falls, regulate medication reminders, or adjust lighting for safety and ease of movement. And beyond these practical aids, technology also has the power to combat isolation, connecting seniors to loved ones, interest groups, or virtual learning communities with just a few taps, creating bridges where before there were barriers. And yet, for this digital revolution to be truly inclusive, digital literacy programs must be prioritized for older adults, ensuring they have both the access and confidence to navigate new platforms without fear or frustration. Because empowerment begins with understanding, and every elder deserves to feel competent in the tools that shape the modern world. And in parallel with technological adaptation, nutrition continues to be a cornerstone of healthy aging, not just for preventing chronic illness, but for enhancing vitality, mental clarity, and immune strength. And the ideal approach here isn't about restrictive fad diets, but about sustainable, nutrient-rich eating that respects the unique needs of an aging body. More protein to preserve muscle mass, more fiber to support digestion, more antioxidants to reduce inflammation, and adequate hydration to maintain joint and organ health, with an emphasis on whole foods, colorful vegetables, healthy fats, and mindful eating habits that treat food as both fuel and pleasure. And speaking of pleasure, let us not forget that joy, creativity, and emotional connection are themselves forms of medicine, with studies consistently showing that laughter, music, art, nature, and affection can elevate mood, reduce pain, and even enhance immune function, which is why it's essential to prioritize beauty and connection as part of any serious longevity plan. Because life is not merely a series of tasks, but a collection of moments. And as we age, the appreciation of those moments, the taste of tea, the sun on skin, the sound of a child's laugh, can become more profound than ever. And this deepened awareness is perhaps one of the greatest gifts of aging, a shift from the fast pace of doing to the quiet richness of being. And yet, in this stillness there remains a spark, a fire that continues to burn, a drive to grow, to love, to contribute, and to explore, whether it's through travel, mentoring, storytelling, or simply waking each day with curiosity and gratitude. And it's in honoring that fire that we reclaim our power, because the human spirit, regardless of age, seeks purpose and expression. And when nurtured, it becomes a source of boundless strength that no wrinkle or diagnosis can diminish. And so, in embracing all these dimensions, movement, mindset, connection, creativity, care, and purpose, we not only extend life but expand it, transforming the final chapters of our story into some of the richest, most impactful, and most joyful of all. And in doing so, we create a legacy not just of years lived, but of life fully realized, inspiring generations to come to see aging not as a shadow, but as a sunrise. And as we arrive at this final reflection on healthy aging and the immense possibilities that lie within our later years, we must also turn our attention to legacy. Not just the material inheritance we may leave behind, but the emotional, intellectual, and ethical imprints that ripple through time long after we are gone. Because every elder, whether quietly living in a rural village or actively teaching in an urban classroom, hold within them a lifetime of accumulated wisdom, stories, and insight that no book or algorithm can replicate. And when we begin to understand aging not as a decline, but as a harvest of knowledge, perspective, and hard-won truths, we begin to see the elderly not as passive recipients of care, but as active transmitters of culture, continuity, and humanity itself. And this is why intergenerational connection is so vital, for when young and old share space, time, and purpose, something beautiful happens. Barriers dissolve, empathy grows, and both generations are enriched in ways science is only beginning to fully quantify. And in creating environments, homes, schools, workplaces, and communities where this connection is not only possible but encouraged, we create a future where age is seen as a bridge, not a wall, and where elders feel seen, valued, and loved, not isolated, invisible, or discarded. And as families, we play a crucial role in this transformation, because while institutions can provide medical support, it is the emotional presence of loved ones that nourishes the spirit. And in the simplest acts, a phone call, a shared meal, a walk in the park, we affirm the dignity and worth of our aging relatives. And in turn, we often discover that their stories give us a roadmap through our own uncertainties, a grounding in resilience and perspective that only time can teach. And as we integrate this mindset more deeply, we must also rethink retirement not as an ending, but as a beginning, a chance to pursue passions long deferred, to volunteer, to write, to garden, to paint, to study, to mentor, to dream again with the wisdom of experience and the freedom of time, because purpose doesn't retire and the heart doesn't age the way the body does. It remains capable of compassion, growth, and even reinvention until the very last breath. And it is this understanding that will help us as a society transition from systems of survival to cultures of thriving, where our policies support aging in place, our cities are designed for accessibility, and our workplaces embrace the contributions of older workers as not just sufficient, but essential, and where we all understand that one day we, too, will walk the path our elders now tread, and the love and respect we show them now is an investment in the kind of world we will inherit in return. So let this be the call to action, not just to move our bodies and eat well and train our balance, but to move our culture toward deeper respect, to nourish relationships with intentionality, and to train our hearts to recognize that longevity is not just about more time, but about better time, richer time, filled with meaning, love, learning, and laughter. And when we combine the physical habits of movement, nutrition, and rest with the emotional practices of connection, creativity, and purpose, we create a complete model of aging that is not merely sustainable, but inspirational, showing the world, and perhaps even ourselves, that growing older is not something to fear or resist, but something to embrace with strength, gratitude, and joy, because in the end, a life well lived is not measured only by its length, but by its depth. And if we live with intention, if we honor our bodies, nurture our minds, and stay open to love and learning at every age, then aging becomes not a burden, but a blessing. And in that final truth lies the secret we've been searching for all along, that every stage of life, including the last, can be radiant, resilient, and deeply, profoundly alive.